Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies, strengthening your business while offering your talent to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Welcome, Giver Marketing Network, and all those listening, Kingdom Warriors out there, and everybody listening. We want to just thank Brenda Warren ahead of time. She is Brenda, the Soulutionist Warren. Look her up on LinkedIn, Facebook, other social channels. Connect with her. We're going to be discussing today mastering the marketing maze, but with a special framework. It's a framework that she's come up with that I've seen, I've experienced. I've worked with Brenda on many levels before, and it's something you want to pay attention to for sure. And there's a resource at the end of our broadcast today. You want to stick around and make sure you grab that as kind of a complimentary resource, and it's really going to help you put this into action, okay? And if you want to get some bonus points right now, take your pen and paper out, take your digital notepads out, open up another window and start taking notes. Write down this word, claims, CLAIMS. Just write it down, and then Brenda will help you fill in the blanks. Claims, CLAIMS. With that, Brenda, so excited. Thank you for coming on to the broadcast. Can you share with the audience a little bit of your background? Like, how did you even get into this marketing game to begin with? Like, how did that even happen?
Well, Timothy, first, thank you for having me here. I started because I did 20 years active duty in the Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. And once I retired, I went on to become a hospital administrator, did that for 13 years. And then I wanted to do my own thing. So I created my own publishing company and my Soulutionist Porter Group coaching. But I quickly realized marketing wasn't my thing. So I took a lot of training, paid a lot of money to figure it out, but everything was going over my head. Mm-hmm. And I realized I needed a system to teach myself and others how to market their business and not get overwhelmed. So
we all need this. We all need this. Like, I'm excited today to learn. I always like to learn, one or two or three things that just I can apply to today and make sure our game goes from good to great, like always improving. We are designed for progress. We're designed for improving. We're designed for expanding. So get your expansion minds and your curiosity ready for Brenda's presentation today. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. And she's going to flip through a couple of visuals just to help those learn more and retain more. But listen closely to the words she's saying as well, because there's genius in this presentation. So Brenda, with that, help us understand this possibly or sometimes confusing world of marketing. Can help us simplify this a little bit.
I would love to. Mastering the marketing maze is all about finding a system, a strategy, and a structure. And this is what I created to do that. I start with the letter C because you need to create your top 20 list. This was taught to me by my mentors, Chris Winfield and Jen Gottlieb over there at Super Connector Media. They requested that we each create a list. We know people. Everybody knows somebody. So even if you're starting out or you're a seasoned business owner, write a list of 20 people that you already know. And I want you to grade them from 1 to 5. 1 being the least likely to support your business, and 5 being the most likely to support you. Because these are the people you're going to collaborate with to promote your business and get your product or service out to the masses. Leveraging the power of network is the best way to start the process.
I love that. And we're already seeing comments and notes in the social media feeds right now. And that's how I take notes. So if y'all see some things coming through my feed, I'm literally taking notes. So if you want to do the same, this will help and bless people in the future for future benefit. If you take notes in the chat box, in the social media comments, in wherever you are listening, watching, reviewing this, even if it's recorded. Even if you're watching this recorded, please take notes in the comments. It helps everybody, helps the algorithms. It helps everybody learn together. So continue on, Brenda. This is good. So create that top 20 list. Does it have to be like the perfect people? Does it have to be like...
No, let me tell you, that's the beauty of the top 20 list. You know what? I heard a story recently of a gentleman that one of the people on his top 20 list was the girl at the checkout counter at his local grocery store. Now, why was she a top 20 list? Because one day he walked in and she was talking to him and he mentioned that he was a storyteller. She says, "Hey, my brother is too." He didn't think much of it. But later on, they came back. And she mentioned it. That brother was actually an executive at a movie place, and it would end up getting him $1 million deal. Please know, you don't know who other people know. So your top 20 list are the people you know, but you got to think about the other 20 people they know, and so on and so on. That is marketing gold right there.
Come on. So you're talking about key relationships or potential connectors or...
Absolutely.
People that... Tell us more about this. Like, explain, like that's one good example you just gave, but explain like social media connections where you seem to have a lot of synergy with. Like, what are you talking about here?
The top 20 list is first, I say, go people top of mind. You don't know who knows who. Like my bestie who's in Texas knows Tamarin Hall. You don't know who knows who. That's why you just have to have the time to take that top 20 list. And this is a living, breathing document. I say top 20, but you want to keep filling this list in and out as you rotate people on and off, which gives you the ability to leverage for other people. So you want to make sure you know that the first time you go through this list, it could be your mom, your dad, your neighbor. I don't care who it is, but you just write the first top 20 people when you first start out. And then you make this a living, breathing document where you can nurture relationships and you look for the maximum impact. The reason you scale from 1 to 5 is because you really want to know, would they really be likely to support you? For example, if I were to put you on my top 20 list based on our interaction, I would definitely rate you a 5. You're somebody that has proven that they're committed to my success. But at the same time, I don't know everybody that you know. Whereas I could put Oprah Winfrey on my top 20 list. I think she'd be a 1. Get the idea? So you can put anybody.
So it's not how good looking they are. It's not how interesting they are from a distance. It's not how nice they are. It's not even how many people they know. It's the fact that you might have a little relational connection. Some call it relational equity.
Right.
You're able to kind of cash in on every once in a while. They cash in on your relational equity every once in a while. And there's a mutual benefit that is very possible here. I like this. So the top 20, I've heard of top 100. I've heard of top 1,000. I've heard of all this, but you're making it really simple.
Once you make it simple and keep it tight. And also remember, it's not even about how well you know somebody. It's just if you have a knowledge of a name, because you never know who's willing to help you. My mama used to always say, you don't know until you ask. No, don't hurt nobody. It just gives you another opportunity to try something different.
Come on, somebody put that in the comments. This is gold already. Okay, so that's your top 20 list. Anything else to mention around this before we move on to some more visuals today?
No, I think this part is good right there because we just want to keep it simple and keep it moving. The next letter in the claims framework is L. That's for leveraging OPP. I love other people's platform. That's because that's a way to get your visibility up, to establish your presence in other people's audience and communities. And it also will help you build your credibility, your authority in your industry. More importantly, it is just a way to get the word out without you doing no heavy lifting. I love going into other people's community and highlighting them, and also asking, are they willing to highlight me as well? So we
That's
need
what we're doing right now, right, Brenda?
absolutely.
This is an organic, a natural, a normal next step in a business relationship is to kind of highlight each other in one way, shape, or form. And so this is part of that right here. What we're doing. This is a privilege for us, and
Yeah.
it's also an amazing opportunity for you as well. So this is
And
great.
here's the key too. When you think about leveraging other people's platforms, I want you to think beyond the podcast. I'm talking be a guest blogger for somebody, write an article for somebody else, get on social media, go, you can leverage other people's audiences out in your neighborhood. You can go to your neighbor's house and go to a barbecue. That's leveraging our audience if you've never been there and you don't know everybody to bring in. So don't limit it to what we think of as the basics. Just remember, if someone else has a community, a group of friends, a cat, a dog, I don't care what it is, baby, leverage it. That's
Come
good.
on. I like how you bring that to the brick and mortar, the neighborhood, and also to the online. I like how you're kind of doing both. Not everything's is best online, especially in the beginning. You're trying to reconnect with certain audiences. People just need to trust you, right? At the end of the day, there needs to be a trust that continues to build. I love this. This is perfect.
You know, when it comes to leveraging other people's audience, I leverage my neighbor's pets. Because see, if a pet likes you, friends usually like you. I walk around, I actually give my sales pitches to my neighbor's dog. Every time I would see him, I do it. And they couldn't understand why they would come in my yard. I paid attention. Pretty soon the neighbor was coming over. Pretty soon they were buying my products. I leverage everybody's audience on a regular basis.
Come on. And you probably do it in a super classy way, super fun, interesting, relational. I love that about you. I've noticed that over the years. Yeah.
And I will make this point here too. Don't pitch slap people. You know, there's nothing worse than somebody walking up to you trying to sell something the first time they see you. You should first seek to build relationships, because relationships are a way to really expand your reach beyond being over super salesy. I always seek first to support and serve before I ever try to sell anybody anything.
Ooh, somebody put that in the comments. Seek to support and serve before you sell anything. I'm going to remember that's my gold nugget for so far. And I know there's 2 or 3 more coming.
Yes.
But that one right there, I've heard you say a version of that before, but not quite as succinct. So great. Do not pitch slap. Seek to serve. How did you say it? Seek to serve.
Seek to serve and support.
Come on.
Serve and support. Now, here's one of my favorite letters. There's a lot in this letter. Letter A. This is where you assess your pace. Now, although on the screen you may see that it says products, activities, creativity, and events, because that's what pace stands for. It also stands for assess your motion moving forward. Why do I say that? Everybody has to adjust their pace to what works for them. Everybody is not going at the same speed. It took me 2 years to write a course. Now, somebody said it might be excessive, but I knew what I wanted to accomplish. So I had to refine my offer. I had to engage my audience and make sure the activities I was offering was actually something they wanted. I wanted to be creative and get clear on my marketing strategy. And I also wanted to connect with my potential customers through events. So I took the time to assess my pace. How fast do I want to get there? Sometimes you want to do something in a week. Other times you want to take a year. But while you're doing that, you need to get clear on your products, your activities, about your level of creativity, and what events you plan to put on. And that's an important part of the marketing strategy.
We got an acronym within an acronym, ladies and gentlemen. This is not your normal presentation. This is beautiful. It's like it just opens up like a flower right here in the letter A, and then you go into some other things. I like this. This is good. It makes me want to learn more. I love this.
And
so
you know,
creativity events. Okay.
Right. And the pace part is so important because, again, for me at this juncture, when I was trying to figure out my marketing strategy and help my clients figure out theirs, I cautioned them to not run other people's race. When I was a young girl in high school running track, I was always so busy trying to see what the other girls were doing. I was losing on a regular basis. And pinpoint here, I was in track for just a hot minute because I didn't like getting sweaty. How did I be a Marine? Oh, I digress. Anyway, the point is, my coach said to me one day, girl, with all them long legs, I'm 5'9.5" now. At that time, I was 5'7". He said, you should be beating these girls with your eyes closed. He said, but you know why you fail? I said, no, coach. He said, because you're always trying to run somebody else's race. He said, I guarantee you, if you would just stay in your lane and run your own race and don't look to the left or to the right, don't worry about what everybody else is doing, you will win. And if you don't, as long as you did your level best, you know, you absolutely put out max input, you will be a winner. After that, I never looked at anybody else when I was running, and I would just blow those girls out the water. And I took that into my business and into my military career. I don't worry about other people, what they're doing. I am truly a competition of one. I'm only competing with Brenda. So my pace may not be yours. Your pace may not be mine. But if I'm clear about the products that I'm going to provide, the activities I'm going to provide, how I'm going to nurture my creative side, and what events I'm going to put on, I can have a rock solid marketing campaign and teach others to do the same.
So a lot of our audience are people of faith. I'm just going to tell you right now that experience that Brenda had was what some call a word of encouragement, or a conversation of encouragement, and that may be a ricochet encouragement for you. Like, take that and help that fine tune and focus on exactly what you're called to do. It'll help prevent all the noise. It'll help prevent trying to start 7 businesses all at one time. It'll help prevent a lot of scatteredness and chaos that we oftentimes bring into ourselves. So I'm just affirming that if people are listening very closely, you're giving some little threads of wisdom right built in, of encouragement right built into your visuals today. So thank you for that. I'm actually going to take that back to the office as well. So thank you.
And in this area here where we talk about the pace, that's the part about, for me, I'm glad you said that there are people watching, that people are facing, you understand God's timing. See, when you are on God's time, you don't have to rush or do things out of season. You can simply figure out what my gifts are, because your gifts will make room for you. And then take the time to really be mindful of where you're going. What is your intended purpose for your products, your activities, your creativity, and your events? How do they line up with your core values? When you add all of that in there, that is a recipe for success.
Somebody say recipe for success in the comments. Let's go. What's the next visual we have today? This is amazing.
Oh, I'm excited. This is actually one of my favorite slides. And it's the slide where I'm bringing all 3 pieces together. We're going to talk about the I, the M, and the S. So we're going to start with the I. That's what we're going to imagine. I want people to imagine and have a visual representation in their mind of what success looks like to them and what they actually want for their own business. And let that fuel the actions and the marketing strategy that they build. Because when you can believe it, you can achieve it. You have to be able to see yourself already at the finish line in order to have a clear target for where you're going. And once you have got the I part all done, I have people do an exercise where I have them write a letter to their present self, and then they write a letter to their future self. And then we're going to work backwards to get there. I love the backwards dream work because it's an exciting way to actually see your business come to life even before it's there. And once we've done that process, I move people into the M. That's where we master your message. Crafting a compelling, consistent brand message is so important. See, you mentioned about people having 6 or 7 businesses started. Now I have pivot. I'm the pivoting queen. But each time I've been clear on what I'm doing. I call it the level up. You may start someplace, but that may not be where you finish, especially if you learn to do your market research and all the things that help you get clear. You see, when I first started out, I was letting everybody tell me what my message was. It wasn't until I sat down and got clear with myself on several things. These are another concept, but I call it my questions, my 5 questions I ask myself whenever I'm doing anything. You do this in the mastering your message part of my claims. That's where you ask yourself, what do you want? Why do you want it? How does it benefit you? How does it benefit others? And what are you willing to do to get it? Now, I know I'm packing a lot in here, but all of this is part of a comprehensive training that allows people to master their marketing maze so they can use this framework to really get things where we call down and dirty, just get in the weeds and really flush it out, because so many of us don't take the time to ask ourselves, what do we want? What do you want for your business? How do you see it? And then why do you want your business to solve the specific problem that you say you do? How does it benefit you? How does it benefit others? And then what are you willing to do to get it? Once we've gotten that mastered and we've got a clear message on who we are, what we are, why we are, and how we're going to do it, then it's a matter of the S. That's where we do some work to stay consistent. It's one thing to start your business, but if you don't have clear strategies, structures, and systems to keep it in place, you're going to be a fly by night. And so being consistent means simply having a clear plan for what you're going to do in your marketing strategy. And this is where we bring everything together so that we make sure that you're not out here looking like a craft project in these streets, and you actually look like a professional business that is about service excellence.
Ooh, there's a lot there. I can tell that you've helped people by digging in deep on some of these topics, and you take them through an experience of unpacking this so that it's not like some philosophical journey that is nebulous and you don't understand what's going on. You bring it down right to the pragmatics. Like, there's a gift there that you're bringing to our audience even today. So thank you for that. Gosh, this is good. So CLAIMS.
Here's the thing about it for me, Timothy, is that I really, really, really am passionate about making people, inviting people to live their best life now. Now for me is no opportunity wasted. And when we don't take the opportunity to really get clear on why we are doing a thing, it's hard to have a strong marketing message that's going to let other people see the importance or the benefit of what we will do to solve the problem that they say they have. And I think also by having this type of a framework, it takes out the guesswork, because really helping people build their business, in my mind, is not one size fit all. And there is no one right way to do anything. This is simply a framework, because someone may come to me, and often have, they don't need every piece of this because they have some of them locked and solid. But if you take the pieces you need, you put all those puzzles together, you're going to have a rock solid marketing plan that you can stick to.
Love that. Good, good, good. So how do people get a hold of you and ask you questions? Do you have any special gifts for our audience today? I thought I saw something. I want to make sure I'm.
I want them to unleash their marketing magic. And if they're ready to do that, they can go connect with me at www.linkedin.com. I'm Brenda Warren, the Soulutionist, everywhere. And I even created a free ebook just for today's audience. I wanted to make sure they had something. And this is one of the things near and dear to my heart. I call myself the queen of the freemium. See, I have discovered almost everything we do in business, there is a free or a low cost option to it. So I gave them some options in the 0 budget, big impact, 8 tactics they can use as a savvy entrepreneur to market their business. Oftentimes we don't do it because we don't know that there are other options. Now, what I did not do, and I never do in these types of books, is give them samples, softwares, or places to go. Why? Because I want to encourage people to research. If you really are going to do your marketing, you need to learn right from the beginning. Research, research, research. It's like real estate is location, location, location. In marketing, I discovered, at least this is my belief, and I could be wrong, y'all are the experts here, marketing is about research. And I can say that 10 toes down, because when I first started, I simply did what I wanted to do. I had no thought for the people I was serving. And then I started asking questions, getting feedback, and then it was like, hallelujah chorus came in singing, this is what they want. So it's important to do your research, but there is a free option for almost anything we need to do. And I believe this book is going to help people do that. It's time to help them make their dreams come into a reality, close the gap between their desires and their reality so they can live their best life now, become a better version of themselves, and market with ease.
I like the approach. It reminds me of a phrase, give people what they want, and then eventually they'll be able to listen to what they actually need.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all in those spaces and places at different times where we know we want this.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know the rest of the story yet, but this is what we do know we want. And so we grab what we want, maybe a resource from Brenda. In fact, take your phones out right now and just take a quick screen, a quick either screenshot or a camera shot at this slide right here, because this will give you some goodies. These resources are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, ladies and gentlemen. They're a framework that gets you unconfused a little bit, and then you realize, oh, I'm going to talk to Brenda for a few minutes, and then you'll be able to reach out to her on LinkedIn or some other social platform. But bit.ly/0budget, the number 8. Now, 0 has a capital Z, so make sure and type that in correctly. But bit.ly/0budget with the number 8. That'll get you there as well. But take a picture of this. It'll help you remember Brenda's face and her name, and she's the Soulutionist. It's just easier to do it that way sometimes. But wow, this is great. Brenda, are you ready for a little roundtable discussion with Christine Dean?
Yes.
And you? I want to just have some conversation around some of these pieces. We're seeing some comments in the feed right now and in the live stream. And so we might even bring up one or two of those if we do get time. But if anybody, everybody's got questions. So might as well just ask them, because they'll probably benefit other people. So as we kind of pull down the actual goodie here, if you wait too long, you miss out on goodies. So there you go. Here it is. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the privilege of having Christine Dean with us to be able to kind of facilitate some conversation here that's more like a roundtable. It's more like, what's the audience thinking? What do we need to know to dig in a little bit on some of these subtopics or some of these letters or some of the acronym? And so if any, as you have questions pop in your head, as you're taking notes, put them in the comments, and we'll be able to ask those questions for you. We had one person say, come on, level up. And in fact, I'll bring that one up right now. Come on, let's level up. Julie says, let's go. And then, of course, Christine's in the background going, okay, I like this one. I like this one right here. That's good. And then, of course, there's folks they just love you, Brenda. Our friend Rico just said, hey,
here we go.
And so we got all sorts of folks kind of rocking and rolling and making comments, but we'll have questions for you too as we go along. So that'll be good. Well, good. So Christine, what stood out to you? What questions would you have for Brenda as we're digging in deep together?
Well, Brenda, I'm a big fan, right? As soon as you say, people doing business their way, you got my attention, right? It's big on, we've seen a lot of cookie cutters, right? And we expect everything to be the same for everybody, and it's not always a good fit, right? So I love that your approach that way. And so even within the different acronyms and the different styles you're advocating, there's still room for that flexibility in there. So I just got to say, I love that about the acronyms. So out of all these different acronyms, I mean, how do you pick a favorite?
You know what? I think it's just being a Marine, everything we did, it was designed to help us be able to remember. So acronyms come naturally to me because there was an acronym for just about everything. And then there was an acronym for an acronym. And that was, again, it was just a way to teach people to retain information. And so I do know I have a tendency to put a lot, and I put acronyms in front of acronyms, but it's helped my people and myself remember.
Absolutely. Just makes it a little bit easier to remember. We need those extra, there's so much going on, especially as a business owner, right? Trying to keep it all straight. I can't even decide which one's my favorite.
Good. Hey, Brenda, I was curious, when somebody, I've worked with you personally, but the audience probably wants to know, if somebody were to work with you, what's generally one of the main or first steps that they might take? I'm sure there's one where they can connect with you personally, and another one where they can check out some more of your information without setting appointment. But I always find it the best when I can set up an appointment with somebody, or at least interact with them on a social platform. What's your social platform of choice? How can people reach out to you fairly easily and quickly?
Well, inside of my LinkedIn, one of the first links you'll see there is for the life community. That's where we leverage impact for entrepreneurs. That's my free entry for anybody who just wants to kind of get a feel for how I train, how I teach, what I do, how I live and breathe. And I tell people unapologetically that my principles are biblical principles. So someone that does not vibe with that, this would not be the right community for them. We're not preaching, but we are teaching, and all of our principles are based on that. And so you start with the life community. And then if the life community works for you, because right in there, we teach passive income, marketing, etc. We have a paid group program that allows people to level up. So it decides what they want to do. And that's all on Convene Communities.
And so you just go to LinkedIn, just search for you and it'll come up. Just search for Brenda Warren or the Soulutionist. It'll come up. Your name and face will come up on that. So that'll be good. Okay. So ultimately, I'm seeing LinkedIn here. I'm seeing your Bitly, your free resource, and that'll make sure that you let that they'll probably pop their name in real quick just to grab that resource, and then you'll be able to follow up with them if needed. But reach out to Brenda Warren, ladies and gentlemen, the Soulutionist, on social platforms of your choice. But LinkedIn seems to be a really good place to start if you have LinkedIn.
And can I mention too, what people will notice if they get their free resource, you'll notice that you click on that Bitly link. I did not even ask for people's email. And that was by intention. Again, it's about not pitch slapping people. If people read that and they decide they usually reach out and contact me. That's how I end up with an actual email list that wants to be seen, heard, and spoken to. I don't have to waste my time, and they don't have to waste theirs.
All right. So she's not going to waste anybody's time. She's just giving value, ladies and gentlemen. So that's good. Any other questions, Christine, that coming up in your heart or mind, or if you're noticing?
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about your group. You've mentioned about how much you love to just give, and we can see that in your spirit, right? And being able to help others. What kind of things can they expect in your group?
Well, right now, what I have is in the Convene Communities where I house the life community, we can teach people how to make passive income. If they never spend a dime with me, I can teach them how to make money right in there. That's my first give. And also connect them with over 3,000 other people that have an opportunity to connect within the community. My community is only a couple of hundred, but we're connected with 38 other communities that house over 3,000 people. So it's a lot of value there. That's all free. There are paid and free things within this group, from a deaf doula to learning to day trade or trade stocks. There's so much within this community that I absolutely love, and people can share their experiences. Inside my paid groups, however, that's where we really level up. That's where I teach people how to do media training, how to start podcasts, and so much more. And the free part was designed because I had so many entrepreneurs that had paid $30,000, $40,000 to get some training, and they got the what, but they didn't get the how, so they still don't have a business, and it made me mad. So I created my free landing space to give people a safe place to go get solid business information and not be pressured to get it. And then they can decide when they're ready to join a paid group, and even that has no contracts. You can come in today, look at all the information. If you decide this doesn't work, you're only out of $97, and then you keep on going. But what I love about that is that I haven't had anybody that comes in and wants to go and not really enjoy the process. I stayed in Convene Communities for 2 years, Christine and Timothy, and never spent a dime, and I was making money in my sleep. That's when I knew it was real and legit. And I love it because it allows me to give back, and it allows me to practice my own teaching style and help other people develop theirs as well.
Okay. And you're mentioning the word convene. Some people may not understand what that is. Can you explain that?
Convene Communities is a community of like-minded individuals designed to help people share their experiences in a safe environment. It was built by several military members who are all what we call it? They are people of faith, and they wanted safe spaces for people to have conversations and share experiences. There's a veterans community, teachers community, there's places for kids. There's all kind of amazing stuff within it. It's a platform for real people living real lives, having real experiences.
Amazing. I love it. Now I understand a little deeper of the connection that you and Christine are having, and we've been having in the past. And I know Adam Fleming is the one that connected us. We just have a lot of cool, fun, overlapping circles that are starting to happen even more. And so this has been a privilege to learn from you today, Brenda, and to ask you some questions. I have some questions for you offline, even because I'm just really curious about how we can work together even more. We have worked together in the past, but even more. And it's always fun to be able to hear somebody on their A game, sharing their story, dropping some nuggets, wrapping up the conversation with additional resources. And here's a way to just keep you going. At the end of the day, we're each other's encouragers, right? Like we need to encourage, and we need to kind of fan that flame of awesomeness and just keep going. And so I appreciate your heartbeat, your optimism, but also your pragmatic application of wisdom. So that's really good. Really good.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Christine, as we wrap up? I know you wanted to make one announcement here at the end, but any other questions for Brenda?
I was just thinking about your sense of community, right? And the wanting to work together with other communities. So I was thinking you probably are open to collaborations with other communities and wanting to connect with other community leaders, right? So I could see that, like you said, that whole synergy thing. Really looking forward to seeing how we can all work together.
I have another acronym for y'all, and it's called HOPE. Help one person every day. That's something we practice daily in our life community and in convened communities itself, because it is about the give back. See, I learned as a child, you can't outgive God. And if I will practice those type of things, and I'll give this last thing about the community, why it's so near and dear to my heart. When I believe I was told to do 80-20 rule, some people have heard of that. God told me 80% of what I do should be free and 20% would be paid. Everybody that I knew in business said that was crazy. You could not be done. Well, over the past few years, I have proven it can be done. It is sustainable. And God's math is better than anybody else's math. 80%, 20% of what God will give you will do more than 80% anybody else will give you. So I believe that having principles that allow us to break the rules by not breaking our core values is so important to what I do and what I believe. And places like the Givers Market gave me the opportunity to break out of the mold and to actually do things that align with my core values. And I'll be forever grateful for that.
I like this concept. And I know, Christine, you're going to share one thing here in a minute about getting together on Wednesdays. Brenda, you're there often. Christine, you're always there. I love the fact we have kind of an open house where we can all come as marketers and just discuss the different communities and resources and abilities to help each other in the room. Very open to both members and non-members as well of our communities. And so that'll be fun to be able to share that in just a minute. But I'm thinking about this version of the 80-20 rule. That's super interesting. We should have you back at some point, Brenda, and talk about just the HOPE acronym and the 80-20 rule, a different take on it. Everybody has, different takes on some of these principles, but that's why they're called principles, because so we can play with them like they're like artistic mediums that we can kind of play with, right? So ultimately, I'm just thinking through this just as almost like a teaser. Okay, so 80-20. If many of our businesses, at least with certain products, if nothing else, we're able to give 80% of our resources away for no or even low cost, just to make sure people are serious. But then the rest of it is more the premium. Like, hey, you need some handholding. We need to get there faster. We need to get there in a more intense way, or you need some extra help. I got a team. I can help you personally. We can get this done. We can get it to market quickly because you're on a deadline. Either it's something you need to get done at an extremely high level or extremely quickly. One of those two would probably warrant some kind of like, hey, I'm going to pay you for your time and attention to make sure this gets done quickly. But the rest of it, if you want to do it almost like a done with you, like just come into the community or come into this resource and let's go through it yourself and then report back to me, and I can help you periodically with that, even in the community, or other community members can help you with that. I like that 80%, kind of that free or low cost kind of vibe going on over there.
There is a system to it because it works better with different products or services than with all, but I do have a plan for it. And I will just tell you, as you think about that, about when I say about God's math, in the beginning, though, I was told don't set a price, just ask people to pay what they can pay. And I'll very quickly tell you how that worked out for me. I was doing strategy sessions, and originally I was charging $50, and I was said, don't charge any. I was told, don't charge anything. Let people pay what they can pay. This is with prayer. You got to have discernment. And I said, okay. After that, the next strategy session I did, a lady paid me $50 without me asking. The second one, the lady paid me $300. Then after that, a lady paid me $1,000. Then my fourth and final one, before I set a price, she paid me $5,000. Mind you, it was the same type of strategy session. People paid based on their ability to pay. Now, had I done those same 5 sessions, that would have been $250 I'd have got. But because I did it based on what I believe, what I heard in prayer, I made a lot more than that. And it also taught me people's pockets aren't glass, and that sometimes you need to do things differently. Everybody said you have to charge set a price. I am so grateful that I've learned that I can trust my gut, trust my inner knowing, that I can set my prices, and I use a value pricing system. And I can also know when to adjust based on my beliefs and my way of doing business. And it works.
That's a great story. And there's a principle built in there as we wrap up today. We all need reps. We all need practice, giving our sessions, presenting our products, delivering our products and services in a way that makes it feel very clear and valuable to those on the other end, especially the psychology of being able to receive things well. And so the way you just frame that, as long as people understand the value of your time, talent, and the experience that you bring to the table, oftentimes people will say, hey, I just give everything away for free. I'm just trying to get my reps in. I'm like, no, at some point you got to start asking people to buy in, because people pay attention to what they pay for. It doesn't have to be $100,000. It could be something very, very small, but they need to be able to say, yep, I'm paying attention. And so there's a psychology and a spirituality to this, the law of reciprocity, the law of sowing and reaping. There's just a lot here. And Brenda's just kind of nodding her head saying, yep, that's what I train on. I mean, this is good stuff. So reach out to Brenda. Ladies and gentlemen, find her. Whatever it takes, go find her. She's not going to come spam you or anything like that. So you got to find her. You got to. She's somebody you want to go seek after. So let's do that today. Okay. All right, Christine. What do we got for another experience that folks can connect with you, Brenda, others?
Yeah, I'm going to drop Brenda's LinkedIn. This way people can just click on that. And connect with her, have a conversation with her, and let her know what you liked about the presentation, and deepen the conversation. Take it and run with it. She had so many nuggets today of wisdom that she shared with us. So I think it makes sense to take advantage of that opportunity to have a conversation with her.
Great. And you're going to drop that in the comments. So that
I am. Here it comes. All right, there it goes. All right, so great topic today. Love having you on, Brenda. You know, next week we've got Joel Thiessen, and he's going to be talking about appointment setting 2.0. So not the basic level, the next advanced level. So we've got some great topics going on. We're just going to keep having a great time with that. But Wednesdays, if you haven't been to a Wednesday yet with us, Wednesday is our networking for marketers. So don't be a lonelypreneur. Brenda's going to be hanging out with us. I think you're going to show up tomorrow. Yes. She's usually there. Pop on in, meet some more marketers and just have a good time with us. Register and save the link. This is our give back, right? This is our free community event that we do. And we love bringing marketers together so that we can help each other and then we can help more businesses. So register at givermarketing.com/networking and come hang out with us.
It's
That's
important
on Wednesdays,
that
8 a.m. Pacific.
8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. This is not broadcasted. This is private conversation with marketing professionals or up-and-coming marketers who, communications, media, PR professionals who want to connect, collaborate, learn, grow for 1 hour in the room, keeping it simple and just rocking it together and just locking arms and even working on projects together. We talk about everything from white labeling to what are you doing that's working? Like all these different topics start bubbling from this.
Sometimes we get an AI expert coming in the door. It kind of gives you some secrets, or a process specialist, or, you just never know where the conversation is going to go, but it's going to be something that helps your business as a marketer.
Woo! Well, hey, today was fun, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you guys. If you're watching the recording or even live, put some comments like that was good. Thank you, Brenda. That was awesome. Thanks. Give a shout out to Brenda, even as you're watching this broadcast. So God bless you guys, and we'll see you soon.